Hello everyone. So I'm Mary and I have been teaching online students for the past 2 years. So I work full-time, 40 to 50 hours per week, and I only teach direct students, which means no online companies, no commissions given to anyone, no demanding bosses, no weird interviews. So basically it's just me, myself and I organizing my own schedule and choosing the kind of student that I want to teach. Right? So many teachers ask me, how did you get to this point? So how did you manage to get so many direct students? So if you want to know some of my strategies, come with me and I'm going to show you some of them. So just a bit about my background. I've been to more than 30 countries and I worked for big language schools such as International House and Education First before deciding to go solo, to take the risk and really start my full-time job as an online teacher. So 2 years ago, I decided to quit my job, and first day after that, I had 0 students, right? So let's just go to my computer, right? And I can show you how I did to start having people and to get to a point that I have to say no to students because I've got no time. Okay, let's go and see it. So first thing is the strategies I'm going to share with you. They are not brand new strategies. They are just, I think the way you use them is what is going to make the difference in finding new students. Okay. And another thing I would like to comment is I do think it's a very smart strategy to find a niche. So for example, in my case, I lived in Colombia for some years and I've been living in Spain for 3 years. So I decided I was going to teach only Spanish speakers because, of course, I can understand their struggles. I can understand their mistakes. Of course, we can all overgeneralize. People are different. But if you've got a language in common, probably you are going to have some issues with pronunciation, grammar. They are common to all of them. So it's easier for me to prepare the lessons. It's easier for me to connect with them. And therefore, I'm going to be a better teacher. That was it. So how did I start? First thing, our old and good Facebook. So I've decided to go on Facebook and enter some groups, as many teachers do. So, but many teachers tell me, well, but I'm posting on Facebook and I'm not getting anyone from Facebook. Maybe because you're not going to the right places. If you are posting on your private page, for sure, just your friends are going to see your post, and I don't know if they're going to be they will be willing to share your post. So not many people are going to see it. So what I did was I was focusing, as I told you, I was focusing on Spanish speakers. So I entered groups of Spanish people or Colombians or Latin people in general living abroad. So Spanish people in Dublin, Spanish people in London, Spanish people in Australia. And why I've done that? Because these people, they are already abroad. They are not here. So they really need to speak English. They are working abroad. They are studying or they are, whatever, but they need English. So I was not posting. I was not doing like spam, So I was just posting once per week, sometimes answering to comments or to questions because there were students looking for teachers sometimes. And I managed to get my first students from there, right? So you talk to them, you just offer them a trial lesson, a free trial lesson, 45 minutes or half an hour. And then of course, I've got a video about how to impress your students in the first lesson if you want to go to my teacher training list and check it out. And basically, once you impress the student and once you get this one, this person can be way for you to move forward. So this person can recommend you to the same group. These groups, they also have WhatsApp groups. So Spanish people in United States or in Canada, and they are going to be talking about you. Okay, so very good strategy. Go to page, choose the page of people that are living abroad or people that you know about, the profile, and try to focus on them. Of course, there are also some groups, Facebook groups like private. I'm looking for a private teacher. I'm looking for a private tutor. But of course, the competition is going to be terrible. Hundreds of teachers are doing the same. So try to be a bit more specific. Okay, it works really, really well, especially when one likes you, or two or three of them, they like you, and they start the word of mouth, and they start to talk to each other, because these people usually, they are very they are together, so they feel lonely, they are not in their countries, so they've got like a big community, and once your name is there, it's going to be easy to have recommendations. Okay, so going to the second one is Instagram. First day I had 0 followers. Okay, so I started my Instagram 2 years ago, and what I did was, first thing, of course, you have to post relevant content. If you are a teacher, it is a very good idea to post stuff, grammar, vocabulary, or of course, you have to put photos of you as well, because people want to see you. So what was different here? My difference was I went to I went to pages of English schools, and I started to follow the students, and they were following me back. They liked my photos, or they liked my my posts, and some of them started to follow me back. Okay, so and we started to talk. So I managed to get many students from Instagram. So as I told you, I'm living in Spain, so I was going to an English school in Barcelona. I'm currently in Malaga, but I was going everywhere in Spain. So English schools in Barcelona, and I was looking at the students, following these students, and then they were following me back. And then, of course, we start to interact, to like their photos. Some of them are going to send you a message and ask you, oh, do I know you? And stuff like that. You can start a conversation. And again, if you can manage to get them, to offer them a trial lesson, a free trial lesson, then more than half of the work is done. It's just a matter really of convincing the person, and causing a good impression, and being a good teacher, of course. Otherwise, it's not going to help a lot. Okay, the third tip I've got for you is go to specific websites. So I don't know where you are. Maybe you are in South Africa, maybe you are in the Philippines, or in the United Kingdom. So there are pages, each country. I'm going to leave some links here in the description, right? You just put the links here. But every country has a specific page for students to look for private teachers. And this works if you know how to do it. So for example, I'm in Spain, I used this page, which is called Tus Clases Particulares. So I set up a profile in Spanish because I really wanted people to understand me, because people, they do sometimes, of course, not everyone, but some students, they are afraid of talking to someone that don't speak their language. Sometimes they do want someone that can understand them in case they are struggling. So I wanted to show everyone that they could trust me, they could talk to me in case they need it. So I posted my profile in Spanish. Not very effective the first days. Then I decided to pay a monthly fee to have my posts at the top of the page. So I was paying 12 euros per month, and this really brought me loads of students, right? So 12 euros per month, I don't know in your country, maybe it's going to be a bit less, a bit more, but it's worth doing it. Okay, so if you've got one, again, amazing, because you can convince that person, and then recommendations are going to follow. Right, so at the moment I'm not paying this page anymore, so I stopped. I paid it for 6 months maybe, but then I had so many students that I couldn't take any other students. Right, so my profile is still there, but I'm not really using it. And then once you've got students, the first month, the second month, you can ask them to write reviews, recommendations, and people, they do trust teachers with recommendations. So very good thing. I think I've got about, not many, I think I've got about 20 recommendations there, but more recommendations you have, more students you're going to get. Okay, so let's go to my fourth strategy. So my fourth strategy was the old-fashioned flyers. So basically, some people think that flyers don't work, and I do think it depends on the place, on the place you live, and the type of the lifestyle people have around you. But one thing that I found very effective was printing some flyers off and going to libraries Okay, so I went to, actually, I think it was only 2 days or 3 days maybe. I went to universities, and there are some campus, they are specific for people that are studying language or studying. So in this case, in Spain is Filología Española. So this is, or Filología Inglesa. So these are people that are studying to be Spanish teachers or English teachers in Spain. So these people need language. Even if they are studying to be English teachers, they cannot say their English is perfect. They need to improve. So many of them, they need lessons. So what I did was I printed out some flyers. I went there, I put, of course, you have to ask for authorization because you cannot just go putting things up. And I went to the library, I went to the door of one of the campus, and I think that was it. And it worked. It worked. The good thing about these strategies is like you need 1 or 2 students. That's what you need to start with, and if you are good, others will follow. So the focus should be not only on getting, students, but retaining these students. Okay, so this leads to my 5th strategy, which is recommendations. So I posted some videos here for you to make very engaging, dynamic activities during your lesson. So you can check my speaking activities. I've posted one writing activity. So if you really engage your students, if you know what they want, and if you make them feel comfortable, if they trust you, if they have fun at the same time they learn, they are going to come back. And if they come back, for sure, if a friend asks for a teacher, they are going to recommend you. So I can say that at the moment, 95% of my students, they come from recommendation. If you are thinking about prices and everything, I cannot say much about it because it depends on the place you live. It depends on your qualifications, right? I'm a certified teacher. I've got Trinity TESOL, Trinity Cert TESOL, and I'm also studying a post-graduation course. So basically, of course, my price probably is going to be different, but the way I do it is I charge for 10 lessons. So usually I tell the student, you've got the opportunity to pay for 1 lesson, which is going to be more expensive, or you can pay for a 10 lesson pack. So this is what they do. Of course, they have to pay in advance, so you make sure they are not going to leave, right? But at the same time, please treat them well. Don't be a bad teacher for them, poor guys. And nowadays, I can't stop having recommendations. So every single week, one of my students offers me, says, look, a friend is looking for teachers, can I give your phone? And what I try to do is every time a student recommends me to someone, I try to offer them a free lesson. So this is a way to say thank you, and this is a way to say, keep doing it because I need it. Okay, so that's it, guys. I think that's all. Just try to use these strategies. As I told you, they are not brand new, but they do help if you know how to use them. And of course, it needs to be constant. You are not going to post on Facebook and forget it. You're not going to just open an Instagram account and forget it. You have to be working on it every single day. And once you've got your first ones, others will follow. And this is amazing because you don't really need a degree for this. There are many teachers looking for online jobs, but they are struggling, to enter online companies because they don't have a degree. You don't really need, you can ask them, for the profile. So you don't really need to teach beginners if you don't want. You don't really need to teach advanced students if you don't want. So for example, at the moment, most of my students, they are between B1, C1, and most of them are preparing for the Cambridge exam. So this is something that I really like. And it's a profile that is very good, so more you like it, better you're going to be, and more they will like you. So it's a circle. Okay, so I hope my techniques, my tips, my strategies help you, and I hope you are going to have hundreds of students by next week. Okay, so if you liked this video, please don't forget, I've got my playlist, teacher training. I've got loads of tips there. Don't forget to subscribe and give me a thumbs up. Thanks, guys.